Everyone walks with their own demons inside, but sometimes they show up for real. They could be shadows that leave without a trace, or mysterious faces that appear where they shouldn't be. So hang on, some of the spookiest moments that were never meant to be seen.
You okay?
I don't know.
You a little freaked out?
A little bit.
So, we were just going to bed and we're not...
This granddaughter decided to stay the night at his late grandfather's house, thinking it might help with closure. But the grandpa's soul wanted her out. She and her husband were sleeping until just past midnight when they heard a loud noise. Not banging. It was slow, yet aggressive, and kept coming over and over. So the guy opened the door, only to find no one outside. But the second he shut it, the sound came back. Not wanting to stay anymore, they decided to leave. But that's when things took a spooky turn. As he stood in the lounge with bags packed, the bedroom door slammed shut. Though they didn't wait to find out, the people believe the grandfather's soul may have been trapped in the house and wanted a way out.
Okay, yeah, we're out here. Rachel's already in the car. I'm leaving.
Hospital ghost.
Go in, figure out why the lights on. I don't like that. I don't like that. Do it.
They look like evil.
During a night shift at the hospital, staff noticed something odd. One of the room lights turned on by itself. Curious, one of the workers decided to go check it out. He entered the room and immediately saw something even more disturbing. One of the curtains moved on its own. But this wasn't the strangest thing. As he turned to leave, an object from the shelf suddenly fell to the ground. That was enough. All three of them rushed outside. Now it was the same part of the hospital where workers have seen deceased patients walking still wearing the hospital gown. So the rest of the explanation is on you guys.
Oh, the curtain moved.
No, it did.
Yeah, it did. It moved.
Shut up.
It
No,
moved.
it
It moved. Yes, it did.
Why would
It did.
curtain move?
How do you not see that? Oh, okay.
Haunting footage. I've always wondered how much of the ghostly world remains unknown to us, simply because we don't have access to cameras all the time. Look at this clip, where a guy can be seen walking toward his car, unaware that there's a ghost in the field. Though the camera could only capture a glimpse of it, it was chilling. When the experts contacted the guy, he told them how he had been hearing strange voices ever since, and it meant only one thing. The ghost had taken the ride home with him. Sneaking intruder. Always hearing strange stories about the hostel they live in, this group of three decided to install a camera in the room, and one night, it paid off. One of the guys sleeping on the top bunk suddenly wakes up and starts talking to someone outside the window. His words were strange, and it was clear he wasn't speaking to anyone in the room. The other two guys were also spooked by the strange act of their friend, sensing something was off. Just then, a weird, ghostly sound filled the room. Terrified, all three of them rushed to the door, desperate to get out. The hostel had been rumored to be haunted, and after seeing the footage, it only made the stories harder to ignore. Ghosts. Let me tell you the story of one of the most haunted town markets in China. Though it's filled with hundreds of people in the morning, at night, the market takes on a completely different atmosphere. This footage was captured by a security guard who always heard a little girl scream when crossing the market. This time, he decided to follow the sound, moving from shop to shop, but found nothing. No one was there. The locals say the market is haunted by the spirit of a young girl who disappeared many years ago, and her cries can still be heard late at night. It's said that anyone who hears her scream is marked by her restless spirit, doomed to witness the eerie events that follow. Crimson eyes. A group of people were out exploring an abandoned desert area when they spotted something on a rooftop. At first, it looked like a person, but as they got a closer look, it clearly wasn't human. The figure had a strange, twisted shape, humanoid, but off. Its eyes were glowing red, like crimson fire in the dark. That was enough to send the entire group running back in fear. Some believe it could be tied to desert legends, the stories of shape-shifting spirits that guard forgotten places. It's said if you lock eyes with one, it follows you back, waiting, watching. Whatever they saw, it wasn't meant to be seen, and it's probably still out there. Demon encounter. This strange video of a mysterious figure sitting in an abandoned building has left people shocked. The woman-like figure kept opening her mouth in a way that was far from normal. It stretched way wider than it should have. And the way she was staring at the cameraman? Well, I don't even need to explain that, do I? The guy who recorded the video said she was a woman known for practicing black magic. And according to locals, one day her spell went horribly wrong. What we're seeing now might just be the price she paid. Vanishing Entity. A guy was heading downstairs after hearing someone crying. As he reached the middle of the stairs, he saw what looked exactly like his girlfriend sitting there. He even called her name, but something felt off. She didn't respond and suddenly pulled a blanket over herself. Confused, he slowly walked down and lifted the blanket, but there was nothing underneath, just empty space. That's when it hit him. It wasn't his girlfriend at all. It was something else pretending to be her. Some believe spirits can copy the appearance of loved ones to lure you in. Now imagine what could have happened if he had reached there just a few seconds earlier. Ghostly crossing. In the middle of all that traffic, a dark figure suddenly showed up. It didn't walk in from the side, it just appeared. Then came the creepiest part. It calmly walked across the street and literally passed through moving cars, like it wasn't even there. When the clip hit the internet, people couldn't make sense of it. But the locals say this exact spot has seen multiple disturbing events over the years, with some even claiming to have seen someone standing in the middle of the road just before crashing. That's why many believe the shadow figure was tied to those past accidents, maybe even the soul of someone still looking for peace. Creepy face. There's an old belief that people whose time has come get surrounded by otherworldly entities, and this video might be proof of that. A man was sitting in a hospital bed surrounded by his loved ones. One of the relatives was filming, but as he panned the camera across the bed, something chilling happened. For a split second, a figure appeared near the patient's side. It was twisted and weirdly shaped, dark and hunched. It quickly ducked out of sight, almost like it knew it was being watched. The family didn't notice in real time, but when they re-watched the video, they were convinced it wasn't human. Demonic entity. People had been saying for years that something evil lived in that old, broken-down building. A dark figure with red eyes. Most thought it was just a made-up story, just like these guys who went in to prove it was all fake. At first, it was quiet, but then the camera picked up something terrifying. A tall, horrid black figure with glowing red eyes, slowly making its way toward them. It wasn't hiding, it wanted to be seen. Instead of running, they kept filming, right up until the thing got way too close. That's when the recording stopped, and they bolted out. They set out to bust a myth, but ended up becoming part of it.
Dude, that's fucking scary. What the fuck? Okay.
Creepy creature. A quiet night turned strange when a CCTV camera inside a house caught something no one expected. A weird creature was seen walking on the corridor. Its body looked part animal, part human. The scariest part? Its face didn't look like anything people could recognize, because it was just wrong. The way it moved was even worse. Slow, careful steps, like it was searching for a meal. Luckily, no one was outside at that moment. Just this thing, walking around like it owned the place. Silent Stalker. There's nothing more unsettling than being watched. And being watched by your demons? That's something no one should ever go through. But this video shared online showed a man walking alone down a quiet street. Right behind him was a black, shadowy figure. It wasn't shaped like a normal person, and it definitely wasn't his shadow. People later said the man had been mocking old beliefs about jinns a few days before this happened, and now that same shadow was seen behind him. Creepy video. There's an old belief that if someone shows up headless in a photo or video, their time might be running out. That's exactly what makes this CCTV clip so chilling. A group could be seen reviewing CCTV clips of a woman in a red jacket, and something was clearly off. Every time she walked into frame, the camera glitched, like the system couldn't handle her being there. Then came the part that really freaked people out. For a few seconds, she appeared without a head. Things got even weirder when a vehicle suddenly rushed past, and just like that, she was gone. The group kept rewinding the video, but the ending was always the same. So, was it really the legend coming true? Well, I believe it was. Hidden presence. These two pictures are really making experts scratch their heads. A couple was enjoying a peaceful countryside trip when they noticed something strange in the photos they took. In one of the pictures, a little boy can be seen hiding in the bushes, but watching them closely. Now here's the thing. There was no one else around, just the couple, yet they both felt like they were being watched. No one can explain the photos, but some people think it might be more sinister. Some believe it could be a trap set by the cannibalistic tribe, a rumored group who lure in tourists to hunt them. They're said to use strange sightings like this to reel people in. Thankfully, they spotted the strange being on time and left. Unseen guest. This is definitely not how anyone would want their birthday to go. A video shows a woman celebrating her special day with her daughters, but when the camera pans to one of the daughters and swings back, something horrifying happens. As the camera swings back to the birthday woman, a dark, witch-like figure is suddenly standing behind her. Only half its face, up to the nose, was visible. It looked sinister, like something straight out of a nightmare. The family didn't realize anything was wrong until they reviewed the footage later. They had never seen anything like this before and couldn't understand what had just happened. Was it a spirit or a birthday present the lady didn't ask for but got anyway? Camouflaged watcher. There's one thing I could never understand. What are people really looking for when they go into the dark woods late at night? Take this man, for example. He was camping in the woods when he suddenly heard a strange shriek from outside his camp. Grabbing his torch, he went to investigate and recorded the entire walk. He came back, saying he couldn't find anything. But when he reviewed the footage later, something shocking caught his eye. There, sitting on a tree, was a figure. It had an alien-like body and looked like nothing from this world. He didn't see it at the time, but just imagine what would have happened if he had walked right up to it. School ghost. What started as a normal classroom recording quickly turned into something terrifying. It started small with a paper chart falling on its own. Then, objects slowly began to shift, like something invisible was moving through the room. The students tried to ignore it until a table moved from its position, as if someone pushed it. That's when the panic kicked in. The students rushed outside, but the classroom has now been locked. As the faculty believe, the classroom was built right where a child once vanished years ago, and whatever took him may still be there, waiting for another prey. Pianist ghost. A few years ago, a paranormal team entered a quiet cemetery in Villahermosa, hoping to find the truth behind some strange claims of locals. They said they'd seen a shadowy figure near the grave of Chico Che, a beloved Mexican singer from the 70s. Some even swore they heard music playing around his tomb. The crew tried to make contact with his spirit, and while nothing spoke back, they felt something heavy in the air. That's when it got weird. One of Chico Che's most famous songs started playing out of nowhere. It didn't come from a speaker or a phone. It sounded like it came from the grave. Whatever it was, nobody who was there left thinking it was just a rumor. Standing figure.
معقول هون ولا هون؟
This guy deserves an award for bravery because what he did, not many people would. The video was recorded by a YouTuber who's known for exploring haunted places. While he was exploring an old, abandoned building, he spotted something strange. A figure was peeking from behind a door, staring at him, but the next thing he did is hard to explain. Nobody knows if it was a panic reaction or he was really not bothered by the presence of the eerie figure, but he simply looked away and kept filming. It was truly unsettling. I mean, how could someone ignore something so creepy? Then, when he turned the camera back, the figure wasn't just watching anymore. It was coming straight toward him. The video ends there, and no one knows what happened next, except for one thing. The guy never made vlogs of haunted places anymore.
ولا هون يعني.
Poltergeist.
ما في السماوات وما في الأرض الله أكبر.
This next video was captured in an abandoned building, and what the guy saw is enough to make anyone question reality. He noticed a strange statue in the distance. At first, it seemed like a regular piece of art, but then the statue's neck stretched out, moved, and then snapped back to its original position. Feeling uneasy, he began reciting some holy verses, perhaps to protect himself, and cautiously approached the statue. He even tried to touch it to see if it would move again, but it stayed completely still. This is where things get eerie. The way the statue moved is often associated with poltergeist activity, when a spirit or entity causes physical disturbances, like moving objects or making noises. The guy couldn't explain it, and after feeling this strange presence, he decided it was best to leave. But what if something unseen was controlling the statue, just like a poltergeist manipulating objects? Let me know your thoughts.
لا إله إلا الله.
Emerging entities. These two videos are clearly unsettling. In one video, a man captured a chilling face rising out of a cemented kitchen sink filled with water. It had no expression, no sound, just an eerie stillness, like it was waiting. It didn't seem human, and it definitely didn't belong there. In another, a guy spotted something odd floating in a river. Curious, he poked it with a stick, and that's when the face surfaced. It looked like a woman, but something was clearly off. Her head didn't move naturally, and her presence felt wrong. Whatever these things are, one thing is becoming clear. Strange entities are starting to emerge from places we least expect, and they're no longer hiding. Demon face. A chilling video was recorded during an investigation at an abandoned location after locals reported strange creatures lurking around. Authorities decided to check it out, and once inside, they discovered something disturbing. The room looked like a ritual site with candles set in a circle around a strange doll-like figure, needles sticking out of it. The room was eerily empty, but the atmosphere felt wrong, as if someone or something was watching them. As the investigators tried to understand what they were looking at, a figure suddenly appeared in the window. It looked like a ghost, but its face was twisted in a way that made it feel unnatural. That's when the video cut off. The team thought returned, never spoke about what happened inside that building. Some believe it was a site for black magic, and whatever they found there may still be lurking. Devil in mirror. This next video is one of the creepiest things you'll ever see. It starts with a woman and her daughter facing a mirror. The woman's voice trembles with panic as she tells her daughter that she doesn't understand what's happening. But then, the daughter moves the camera toward the mirror, and that's when it gets truly terrifying. Her mother's eyes have turned completely black, nothing like she has experienced before. Just when things couldn't get worse, the daughter films again. This time, a tall, twisted figure appears in the reflection. It stands behind the woman with a creepy, pale white face that seems almost otherworldly. like something straight out of a nightmare. The figure's presence is chilling, and it looks like something straight out of a horror story, almost like a demonic figure. No one knows what happened next, but the unsettling images captured in that moment suggest whatever they filmed wasn't just a trick of the light. Something truly sinister was watching them. Dresses in white. Waiting on the bench is not a woman, nor a human. It is the ghost of a lady who is haunting the entire neighborhood. Known as the Woman in White, this figure belongs to the American urban legend of a strange woman said to wander the streets. She passed away after a heartbreaking loss, and it is commonly believed that she still waits for her husband. And for those of us unfortunate enough to cross her path, she doesn't let them rest. She haunts them for the rest of their lives. Well, I don't think I need to tell you what would happen to the guy who recorded it. Let's just hope he's doing okay. Ghost in school. A group of high school students decided to explore the abandoned part of their school at night and spotted what they always wanted to see: a pale, white humanoid figure with no face. The boys were quick to notice that the figure didn't appear human. Its unnatural movements and lack of any facial features made him believe it could be something otherworldly. The figure seemed aware of his presence, yet it never turned to face him. The man described it as an alien-like figure, as if it didn't belong in this world. Though the school authorities dismissed the news, they never let anyone go on that side of the school again. The last man. According to the locals of this small American town, this care home has been abandoned for years, and no one dared to go inside due to scary yet disturbing memories the place holds. But this man and his friends decided to explore the place. As they reached the stairs, something strange happened. They saw a shadow slowly move across the hallway upstairs. Not just a flicker, but the strange shape kind of like a person, walking in the darkness. Those who saw the footage believe it was the spirit of an old man, one who was the last man to pass away in the building. After that, the care home declared cursed and was shut down for good.
Hey, wait up. Hello?
Mystery follower. The woman in this video starts recording in a panic, clearly terrified by something or someone following her. Though she speaks in a foreign language, you don't need to understand the words to feel her fear. Her voice is shaky, and she keeps turning the camera to show a strange figure slowly following behind her. Later, her friends claim this wasn't just any man. It was someone known for stalking people, manipulating them, and taking them away. They say no one who followed him ever came back. But this woman escaped, just in time. Ghost encounter. This guy was testing out a virtual reality device that turns your whole house into a game setup. Everything seemed normal at first, but then something really strange happened. While playing, he noticed a tall figure standing silently in his hallway. Thinking it was part of the game, he reset the device, but the figure was still there. He tried again, and it didn't move or disappear. That's when things got creepy. It wasn't part of the game at all. The figure had no face, no features, just a tall, distorted shape watching him. The question is, if that figure wasn't part of the game, then what exactly did he see? People who saw the footage believe he accidentally caught a ghost using virtual reality. School ghosts. A security guard at a school in the Philippines finally decided to record what had been haunting the building for weeks. It was 2021, and strange things had been happening. Lights flickering on their own, chairs moving without anyone touching them, and eerie sounds echoing through the halls. One night, he had enough. He grabbed his phone and went in to get proof. As he followed the strange voices, they led him to a classroom. The moment he stepped inside, the chairs began shifting across the floor by themselves, and the ceiling fan suddenly turned on, even though no one was around. Many believe this was the work of a poltergeist, and after watching this video, even the most skeptical had to think twice. creepy intruder. A young woman was at home, recording herself while practicing her dance moves. Everything seemed normal until she turned around and noticed something terrifying. A man was standing quietly in the corner of her apartment. He wasn't moving. He didn't say a word. He just stood there, staring. She froze for a second, trying to make sense of what was happening. Was it a break-in? Was it something else? The man's stillness made it even more disturbing. He didn't act like a normal person. Without making a sound, she grabbed her phone, which was still recording, and carefully backed out of the room. She rushed out of the apartment and called the authorities. But by the time they arrived, the apartment was empty. Ghostly figure. A man was forced to spend his night at an unknown location after his car's engine broke and decided to record the place. He rotated his camera around to spot any strange activity when a shadowy black figure with haunting eyes appeared and was staring directly at him. The video was short, but viewers believe it was the myth of the jinn come true. These beings are said to lurk in hidden places, waiting for unsuspecting victims. Was this man unlucky enough to encounter one? Well, I think he did. Exorcism next door. A woman was taking a selfie when she suddenly heard loud screams outside her window. When she looked out and saw two police officers running into the building across from her, the noise was coming from a room upstairs, which was now full of thick smoke, like something strange had taken over. People nearby said the sounds coming from that room didn't sound human. As the officers went in, one of them started shouting something, almost like he was trying to fight off whatever was inside. Some think he was doing some kind of prayer or exorcism, though no one really knows. What happened in that room is still a mystery, but it scared everyone who saw it. Dark figure. It's always the middle of the night, a sleepy neighborhood, and a CCTV camera that captures the most disturbing moments. This strange shadow, which appeared out of nowhere, was spotted by the homeowner the next morning while checking the footage to find out where the creepy sounds were coming from, and the mysteriously floating figure was the answer. Haunted house. Sometimes, people hear strange sounds in their house and make the mistake of checking it out, just like in horror movies. These two guys started hearing creepy noises coming from their attic, so they decided to investigate. They slowly opened the attic door, and what they saw left them frozen. A strange, pale face was peeking down at them from the darkness above. It didn't move. It just stared. They were too scared to climb up and see more. And honestly, who would? The scariest part is, whatever that thing was, it might have been living up there for a while, without them ever knowing. Little ghost. It was the middle of the night when the house suddenly lit up with a blinding flash. The CCTV video shows a wide shot of the lounge and hallway, completely still until that moment. Out of nowhere, a massive light burst from the end of the hallway. It was too bright, too sudden, and what's worse is that it had no clear source. Online viewers say it looked like a spirit crossing through the house, and seeing the reaction of the dog, I have a similar opinion. Scary video. Now that is some really creepy video. The guy heard loud banging on his door window. It looked like a child was hitting the glass with full force, and it was not spooky until he showed where the window opened. It was another room with clearly no signs of a minor or anyone being inside. So was it a ghost? Or something even more sinister happened in the room? Comment down your opinions. Camping encounter. This man was van camping when things took a terrifying turn. In the middle of the night, he heard footsteps outside. Moments later, there was a loud banging, like someone was trying to break into the van. Panicked, he shouted out in fear, and surprisingly, it worked. Whatever it was quickly backed off and disappeared into the darkness. Still shaken, the camper didn't take any chances and decided to change his location immediately.
Hey!
Creepy footage.
Oh my god.
Holly was house sitting for a family when something strange happened. She opened a wardrobe and saw a wooden doll sitting on the top shelf. At first, it didn't move, but then its feet started tapping together. Scared at the sight, Holly decided to leave the house. She later joked that she almost set the place on fire before leaving. To update the online viewers, Holly later said that she had been alone in the house all weekend and felt really uneasy. She told the family about the doll, who are disturbed by the incident too.
Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my...
And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. The story of this little girl started spreading across the internet a few years ago. She was just playing in her room like any other day when she found an old, dusty box tucked away in a corner. Curious, she opened it, only to discover what many now call her personal Pandora's box. Inside were strange, old items, and one smaller box filled with jewels. At first, it seemed like a lucky find, but not long after, things started to change. The girl began seeing strange shadows, hearing whispers, and claiming that ghosts were visiting her at night. Her family believes it all began the moment that box was opened. So was something dark released that day? Let me know, what do you think?